Lowe's. Dude, how did half of this pass check? 2020. This prop is literally the biggest offense to Walt Disney that ever could be created. 5.
Sometimes it's not. I always come back. I am Chucky, the killer dog, and I don't want to give that up.
So let's look back at Lowe's. Sorry, I just woke up, so my voice might sound a little different, but, back in the day, Lowe's really was kind of just a place that sold Halloween. They went kind of basic with their stuff. They had some Jemmy props back when Jemmy was cool, which is pretty neat. But they also had a lot of inflatables. Over in time, they started getting the worser Jemmy stuff. But they were still, kind of just a good old place to go get your Halloween if you're running last minute and you want to decorate your yard. They were always pretty cool, but not a place you'd want to visit multiple times. And ever since, I would say, 2022, they've kind of been getting up there. 2022 wasn't that good either. They were carrying a Sunstar clown, which now they carry way too many Sunstars. So back then we didn't know what was coming. They also carried this witch that I'm gonna admit wasn't that good. This Reaper that was pretty bad. And this clown that was honestly alright, it's just it had the generic phrases. They had all the licensed ones, Ringtone Michael Meyer being among the worst. Don't really care about them. But they had enough to count it as kind of a lineup. But their main selling point was the 12-foot colossal mummy. This was the third 12-foot prop in retail. We had the 12-foot skeleton, the 12-foot Inferno skeleton, and now we had a 12-foot mummy, which, granted, he didn't look too realistic, but he looked cool at least. And he talked, or he made groaning noises, and he lit up in different color options. It was cool at the time, before all the 12-footers came in. That was their saving grace, and that was the meat of the lineup in 2022. But 2023 is where they really got up there. They had 12-foot tall Scarecrow, like, wow. That was a big improvement, right off the bat. Some of their lineup included, of course, some Jemmy ones, like a Jemmy Leatherface. But Haunted Mansion Knight, or he didn't come out that year, Haunted Mansion Caretaker was really a show stealer. Because this was a character from the Haunted Mansion that had no merchandise in prior use. Looked pretty accurate to the character. Played the song, wish I had volume control, that's my only minus with it. But it was super cool. It was priced really well for what it was. But the rest was pretty good. They had some bad ones like Teddy Bear Clown, but the Reaper Band came out, and a lot of cool props did come out of their lineup that year. 2024, you probably remember it, you were there. They had Bone Collector, they were phasing out 12-foot Mummy, but they had Bone Collector. He's pretty impressive. I think he's a little overrated, but he's still cool, I guess. They had some other cool ones. Honestly, it wasn't their best year last year, but I would take that in a second over this year. They had their C lineup, the Captain, the Diver, the Servo Witch, which honestly isn't that good now that I've unboxed it and sent it back. Jemmy Sea Witch was even good. And there were some bad apples. There was Beatrice the Butler, which that's just not very good. I think I got 2 of them because they were $40. Because I want to customize one of them to look a little cooler. But they were never that good, but they were getting really good. In 2023, they had literal pneumatics. It's just they got rid of them. And Lowe's, what are you doing this year? You're making slop. And that brings us to 2025. This is the year that it all came off the rails for me. As soon as I saw the first leaks coming in from the Lowe's manager meeting, it got bad. We had leaks, website leaks that had come out. There were also fake leaks, like a Servo Cyclops, which that would have been a lot better. But the main leaks didn't even look that promising. Like, we had the Lady Plague Doctor. Like, what is that thing? And then we see the manager meeting lineup pictures. This ruined it all for me. Why did half of this pass prototype? What? How quick was this lineup made? So let's just start talking about these items. Let's start dissing them pretty much, because I don't think there's anything good here, and I'm kind of on the edge of my seat to see when Savannah and Brick Thunder go, to see what their opinions are, because I know they're gonna have to glaze them, but this is unacceptable, some of this stuff. So let's start. Emily and Victor from Corpse Bride. Of course, there was ones last year, and this year is the 50th anniversary, or not 50th, I think like the 20th anniversary. So I don't know why Spirit put them out last year, but okay. And Spirits are a lot better. Now, these ones weren't designed last year. They had to be designed in 2023. Probably the same time Spirit was designing theirs. They were all making their own, kind of. Victor looks amazing. He looks just like the Spirit one. Let's do a side-by-side real quick. He literally looks the same, just with a bent weld in the arm. And Emily, wow, that face looks so weird. The eyes just look like they're staring into my soul. Also, the blue is way too dark on her skin. It looks too dark. And the haircut is weird. I would not prefer that, Emily. Of course, I'm going to have to see some of these in person, but I think I'm going to mainly be sticking to my main opinion on most of these. But Emily is not that good. Victor's good. That's, I guess, why they had, when the leaks came out, just a digital mock-up of a picture of Emily. But they did not hit that mark at all. And it's a cartoon character, so it should be easier to sculpt, but whatever. So moving on from those ones to one of the, probably the biggest letdown in my opinion. This is the Gravedigger. What did you do? Why does he look like he's straight out of Home Depot? Like, what the heck, man? This literally looks like the same Home Depot one that's been out every single year for the past 5 years. Seriously. There's been a Gravedigger every single year that looks just like that. That's SVI at its best. That's all I can tell you. SVI went full force when they told him to make a Gravedigger. That prototype looked different than an SVI one. That's why I liked it. Not one that looks like this. So, too bad, guys. Too bad. Just gotta say it. It's too bad that it's like that. Like, what is your explanation at that point? Like, literally, you're gonna charge more than Home Depot, I know, and it's the same thing. Like, what? It's also kind of a reskin of Scrooge, you can tell, with the posture. I'm not a fan. And in the background, you can see this wolf. I think there might be a picture where you can see the wolf's full body. I don't even like him that much. He looks very much so like a Lowe's prop, and also looks kind of like a Mega Wolf ripoff from Lowe's, or from Party City. Not fan. Take L, Lowe's. This is where it threw me off so bad. This is Haunted Mansion. What? That's not Haunted Mansion, buddy. Also, why is Haunted Mansion Knight, like, drugged up to be here? Why are his eyes literally, like, one's looking up, one's looking down, like he's drunk as heck? But, you know who else is drunk? The Hitchhiking Ghosts. They literally shrunk down. They drank Dr. Loom's evil potion. Now they're 1 foot tall. Like, this is an offense to Walt Disney himself. What happened? Like, what is that? I mean, from the beginning, I did not like these things. They look too cartoony. I will say, they fixed the middle one's face a little before release. But, oh wow. Like, why are they so small? Even if they were life-sized, I'd like them a little more. I was expecting them to be life-sized. And just being like 2 feet tall doesn't help. How do you expect to make a life-size character 2 feet tall and the rest of the lineup's like 6.5? Like, what? Caretaker's back. It's the best one. If you can't tell, he came from 2023, and they keep getting worse every year. Haunted Knight looks cool. Not this one, but he, on a normal one, looks cool. It's just his quality's a mess. So, if you're gonna buy him for 300, hold off till 50 or 75. There is this painting in the background, though, which I very much so like. And there's a bust. Pretty cool. Here's this illusionist. Oh, man. What can I say about that? It's kind of cool. It's obvious how it works, honestly. In the dark, it wouldn't be. It looks like you can see right through him or something. Like a reflection type thing. It's not cool of a effect to me. It's just this shoulder with a hat on it, with a head on it. And then these two poles coming down with like a cape draped over them. And then there's a little arm coming out. It's obvious how it works, honestly. And I can see someone building this, like the Wicked Makers themselves, in like 10 minutes. With some PVC pipe, honestly. Wicked Makers seriously need to be hired for the designing process of these things. Here is where I get kind of disappointed. This is probably the best page, but it definitely doesn't deserve to be the best. None of this does. This is the Plague Doctor. Yeah, you guessed it. Bozo Plague Doctor is back. 2 feet tall. Very weird. That guy with like some eye mask thing on. He looks pretty creepy if I know what he does. Next month we'll see. June we'll see. I don't know, man. It's not cool in my opinion. Like it's not neat, let's just say. There's this clown that's a Peekaboo Penny reskin. Luckily it's not a Sunstar one, to the best of my knowledge. But there's too many where they're like holding on their head and it comes off and there's a head underneath. Or they peekaboo you. It's too overdone. Like, get a new concept, man. I know a lot of people are wanting the clown, but wait until I tell you, there's probably going to be better options, and depending on what you're going to use that for, there might be better options, and the grass might always be greener. It's okay, I guess. What can I tell you? Then there's these dolls. Okay, people are liking these in the community, and I beg you the question, why? Why do you like these? Like, they came out from Morris this year, and they were weird. Every year, there's a twin pair animatronic that's a foot tall. I'm not trying to make an offense, but why do you like something like that? It's so overdone at this point that it's not scary, it's not really unique, and why do you like that? Because one of them was wearing a black dress and one of them was wearing a white dress because they look at each other? Because they probably say, come play in the graveyard! Like, I'm sorry, why? Why? That's probably like $200 for Lowe's. Not fan. Nope. Oh man, this is the only saving grace for the lineup. This is the Balloon Dog Clown. It kind of looks like Jemmy, but it's holding the Balloon Dog. The other stuff was digital mock-up, and so it's not going to look as good. It's got a very visible puppet line, which you're going to see that in a couple minutes. It's okay. What can I say? It's the best one, and that's saying a lot, because it's not even that good. It's just the Balloon Dog that keeps it. Like, if it was holding popcorn, it'd probably be a minus. But it's a plus just because it has the dog and it's unique. I really want to paint him to look like Spiky from Killer Clowns. That'd be pretty cool. But I don't know, man. I don't think I would get this one. If I was to get one, I'd probably get this. Oh yeah, and there's that Corpse Bride dog. That kind of looks like a Lowe. I don't know what to tell you about him. He's okay. Now, here is the 12-foot Victorian vampire. This does not need to be 12 foot tall. Again, this does not need to be a 12 foot tall prop. It doesn't. I'm sorry. A vampire doesn't need to be 12 feet tall. They're kind of running out of ideas. And by kind of, I mean a lot. His puppet line's visible. His arms look weird. It's really unproportionate, but I mean, unproportionate, that seems to be a theory that is very true, because it's literally a vampire that should be 6 to 8 feet tall, but is literally 12 foot. I can see this being popular for maybe a horror shop or a theater putting on top of their roof or something, because that would be kind of sick. Kind of like as an advertising thing. I know the Nosferatu movie came out this year. I just don't see myself liking this full price. 50 probably. A lot of this stuff, I wouldn't get them for full price probably. And if I was to get any of these, I'd get them 50 to 75% off, and none of them would go without customizations probably. Just because they're all so bad. There's also this skeleton, and there's this scarecrow, and there's a big scarecrow, and what have you. I don't know, man. It's weird. Hey, this is me editing this video. I did just now see the thirst footage now, and we now see this ghost holding this bell. His hand moves really realistically and moves the bell. It's just really loud and annoying as the bell constantly rings. The rest of the videos we're seeing are interesting. The gravedigger seems really stupid, the wolf seems stupid, and the clown is actually pretty cool. But the plug doctor and the guy in the top hat really don't seem to be cutting it for me. There's also a generic Mickey that looks kind of to be Jemmy. Drop the Mickeys, guys. I think it's getting a little overdone. There's a witch. Cool. Neat. Generic alley. I think it's such a bad lineup this year. I mean, you compare it to last year, which fell apart with $450 price tags, stupid licenses, horrible quality, Jemmy slop. It was still good, but it wasn't as good as past years for companies. And then you look at this slop this year. Lowe's, if you're watching this, I mean, no hate, but I was expecting more from you guys. Just think back on when you did pneumatics, when you made good 12-footers that were kind of cool and realistic. Think back on when Jemmy didn't do everything, like a year or two ago, when you lean more into techie. I would say do that. Also, if you're doing a licensed character, if you're gonna make them small, just make it a tabletop. Don't make it a 3-foot hitchhiking ghost, because I'll probably never use that if I was to buy it. Again, no hate, Lowe's, but try harder next year, and maybe I'll buy some stuff from you full price. Past 2 years I bought some from them full price, and that was Haunted Mansion Caretaker and Haunted Mansion Night, which both, well, Night was very bad quality, so it's getting worse. And I feel like this is Lowe's marketing tactic, and if Lowe's is watching this, I'm sorry, I know your secrets at this point. They price things super high because they don't want anybody to buy anything. They don't want buyers for their products. Where the sales come in is they put their Halloween sales probably a week or two before Halloween, when Halloween sales are most prime, at 50 and then 75% a few days before Halloween. Meaning that they are going to completely sell out of all their inventory even before the big day arrives or a few days after. That is really their marketing tactic, and so I have a feeling Vampire's gonna be $450 at least. Hitchhiking Ghost will be $270. Mickey will be $220. Illusionist $280. Caretaker $350. Yeah, you get the drift. I only bought stuff from Lowe's last year when it was $75, and I think that really speaks for itself. That's how they want things sold, and they are very smart with that. And so, Lowe's, if you're watching this, which you probably aren't, hopefully we have a good 2026. Start planning, guys. I really have some hopes up for you for next year. But this year, I will keep my eyes out for Home Depot, I'm supposing, because I really don't see anything here I'm going to want. But that's good for my bank account. And for everything horror, this is ABC Halloween. I'll see you guys in the next one. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you agree. If you have any differences, go ahead and say it, I guess. And we'll read you out in the comments. Yeah, no, just kidding. But go ahead and leave your opinion. Let it marinate down there. I don't know. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Sometimes it's not. him Chucky, the killer dog. And I don't want to give that up.